Right now, let's go take a look, because there's been a lot of, I don't want to use the word, BS. You know, I'm not going to say it out loud. You know, I'm trying to keep my mouth cleaner. You know, and it's hard to when you read economic stats. It almost forces you to curse. You know, It's like almost impossible not to curse when you start looking at economic stats and look at what the news media or politicians are saying about them, because you just want to just scream, you know, bovine excrement. You know, you people are just telling stories to the working people that are out there running the real country. So let's take a look here. A very simple little way to look at this, and I found this was alarming, came from Bloomberg and a survey of household expenses. You ready for this? Each one of those orange lines, and if you're driving in a car or you're listening later on a just podcast on Stitcher or Spotify, I'll walk you through this. This is a chart that shows what percent of people answered in the following way this question. If there was an emergency expense of $400 and that was difficult for you, how would you be able to manage or afford to pay a $400 emergency expense? Let me give you an example. You go to an emergency room because your son sprains his ankle really bad. You weren't sure if it was cracked or broken. You want to have an x-ray. It's a Sunday afternoon. He was playing soccer. You go to the emergency room. You go to urgent care. And there's a deductible you pay. You are going to pay something, even if your health insurance can pay the rest. That could be $400. Then your daughter comes home, you know, the 16-year-old I mentioned a minute ago that is now driving. It had been 16 years since the interest rates. She comes home, Daddy, I'm so sorry. I was backing out at Target and I hit this pole, and you go back and look, and the back of the car is a little munched in, and then one of the fenders munched in. You're going to have to go to a body shop, and you've got $500 deductible on your car insurance. There you have two examples of unexpected expenses that can happen to a normal, everyday American family. Now then, let's go take a look. What percent said, oh, I have a checking or savings account, I can pay with cash, I have a little left over? 35% said they had the cash. That means 65% do not have enough cash in savings, or maybe a small second emergency account, like a little savings account meant to be just for emergencies. You get about $1,000 in there or something. 65% don't have that. So 35% said, I have a savings account or checking account, I will pay it cash. Second group, 31%, I have to use a credit card. I don't have the cash, but I'm pretty sure I could pay it off the next statement because I'll know I've got the excess coming on the statement and I'll prepare myself to pay it off. 31%. So it's almost like a third. Let's just call it that. 35%. We'll round it to a third. 1/3 said, I have the money, I'll take care of it. 1/3 has said, I got to put on a credit card, but I'll set myself up and I'm pretty sure I pay it off the next statement. Then 1/3 does not have the cash and cannot pay it off on the next credit card statement. 20%, 1 in 5 said, I got to put on a credit card, but I'll have to pay it off over a couple months, a little at a time. And 17%, I can't pay for it at all. I don't have a credit card. I don't have anything in savings. 13%, I'm just going to have to borrow it from a friend or family member. Hey, Mom, you know, my son, the ankle, urgent care. Grandma helps out. You know, ready for this? 8%, so almost 10% said, I got to sell something on eBay. I'll probably sell something. I'll sell a couple pair of sneakers. I'll sell clothing, but I got to sell something. And I probably have to turn to eBay or Craigslist to sell some things to make the money back, maybe that I borrowed from my mom. 6%, and then 4%, another 10%, I'll put this together, 6 and 4, they said, I need to get a bank line of credit. Now, a little small bank line of credit or a payday loan. In other words, these people are about to pay probably 20% interest on this. And that's probably, actually, they could pay more than that. It could be 30 or 40% the way some of the payday loans and emergency loans work. So 10% means they don't have a family member, they don't have a credit card, they don't have cash in the bank. They are going to go out and get the most terrible, expensive money that is out there, which is a payday loan, a deposit advance, a small bank loan if they had some sort of collateral, or a line of credit somehow. They don't have a credit card. 10% there. So think about it. 1/3, I've got the cash. 1/3, I'll put it on a credit card, but I'm in a good enough situation I can pay it off. Then 20%. I got to pay it off over time on a credit card, but I have a credit card. So that's 66, we're up to 86%. So 14% of America are in serious trouble where they have to borrow from a relative, borrow from a family member, sell something, says, or get a payday loan, which could just make it worse next week because maybe that means they don't put gas in the car and they have to bum a ride from somebody off work. They have to, or something. But this I found this to be pretty shocking. And ladies and gentlemen, remember the number. This is $400. And I use the example of emergency room deductible and a deductible for, a car repair, a body shop repair. That's amazing. So what is the message for all of us? The message for all of us is people's financial situations is their business. But if you don't know where your friends are, and you don't know where your employees are, have a little bit of an idea so that I'm not talking about giving them an artificial raise or an artificial loan, but just knowing where they are so that we can care for the people closest to us as human beings and be the kind of a boss that says, this person's been with me for 4 years, has really tough time right now. Maybe we come together as a company, see if we can help them with that deductible for the ankle or something when something happens up. Because we're talking about emergency expenses. We're not talking about people that have not been living prudently. They maybe have been partying or doing a little too much or spending on clothes to feel good and they shouldn't have done that, or buying a new pair of kicks, sneakers, and they shouldn't have done that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about people that have legitimate emergency situations. And so if you don't know your friends and family members, and it's not your business, but you need to be close enough that you have a sense so that as an employer, as a business owner, in this economy, that we can look out for each other so that they don't slide off the cliff to some really serious situations. And that's my 2 cents here. As a past, I was a business owner, I knew where everybody stood. And I don't rescue people who are doing it with lifestyle or bad choices, but I have had opportunities to be part of something that helped. I was an executive with a company where I'll get emotional if I go too deep into this. We had a wonderful engineer from India, sweet person and sharp, great engineer, good coder. And when I was in Southern California with a company there, and she and her boyfriend gonna go for Las Vegas, see something, always seemed to be prudent. Something happened and they had an accident and she was not wearing a seatbelt. And on the road to Vegas, which is a long, lonely highway that just goes out there, it's like 150 miles across the desert after you get outside of LA. Unfortunately, another vehicle or something happened. They went off the road and lost control, the car rolled, and she was ejected, and she was lost. And we, as a company, came together with some things and sent one of our employees, another individual from India, to India to give her family a financial gift so that they could help take care of these arrangements and getting her home and doing the things that they wanted to do culturally. And those are opportunities that you never pass up. Don't pass up the opportunity to do something like that, especially for someone who's just been a spectacular employee. Now bring it all the way back. These emergency situations happen. Know your people, be ready to make the support you need. But on the other hand, if people are griping and you can see lifestyle things, there's also opportunities to be a good friend or a good coworker or a good sideline and say, I think part of this is on yourself. And you need to keep an eye on it.